guys, welcome back to Oh Hair No. I'm Katie.
I'm Liz, and today we have Terri Sill. She is someone that we brought on to talk about being an educator in our industry and a school owner. She has lived it, breathed it, and survived it. Terri, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So
Yes.
we're going to go ahead and do our toast. So in honor of
Grab
having...
your pop, Terri.
Yes.
Can ya?
Yes, your pop, your soda. In honor of it being all educators in here, that's what our toast theme is. So to hair educators, because talent is everywhere, but skill is taught. Cheers.
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 Yay.
Also, shout out to Liz for our new wine glasses with our
It's us.
with our faces on it and our
Yeah.
logo.
Yay.
We'll have merch dropping soon.
With our 10 followers. All right. So let's just jump right in, Terri. So why don't you tell us about your background, how you got into this, and your journey into owning a school, and how that was.
Well, it
how
was
that became.
unconventional. Of course, I think anybody who owns a beauty school probably has an unconventional story because sometimes it just happens to you. You don't actively make it happen, it just happens. But I was in banking for 23 years, and at age 46, I went to beauty school. And I worked in a salon, 2 different salons for a year, and then I had a little salon in my home. I think I was so burned out from banking that I didn't want to work hard anymore.
Yeah.
And the owner of the school that I went to called me and wanted me to come work for her for an interesting situation she had going on. And so I did. And she ended up selling me her school. And so I found myself a business owner.
So she called you.
She
wanted
called
to-
me. I went to work for her. I started clocking hours to get my instructor license, and she was trying to sell the school the whole time I was working for her, and she kept trying to get me to agree to it, and I was telling her, no. And finally, I just thought, why not? I mean, I had been practically running the school
Right.
anyway, so it seemed like the thing to do.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you got into the school. How many years? How many years did you own that school then?
I owned the school for 13 years, and we started in a leased space behind one of the buildings in Battle Creek, and I wanted to have my own building. I didn't want to pay somebody else rent because I wanted to make improvements, and why not do it to something I owned? So
Yeah.
we bought a building and got accreditation and federal financial aid, and the next thing you know, I had 80 students, and we outgrew it. So we bought a big building and 10,000 square feet and moved in, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I've
you
only
had
heard good things.
3 locations then?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's a lot to move a school, to buy
I
and
can't.
renovate
I don't
a
even
couple
want to
different
think
buildings.
about moving a school.
Yeah. Well, especially into a 10,000 square foot building.
Yeah.
It had to be completely renovated.
Yeah.
When I bought it, there were actually homeless people living in it.
Oh my gosh.
So there was a lot of work. A lot of
Wow.
work.
That's crazy. And you had, so you bought that building and then you were renovating that, but then also had your school running in the
Yes.
other building at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is.
Well, I was really lucky that I could position myself truly as an owner and somebody who developed the way things
yeah.
needed to be done the way I wanted them done.
Yeah.
And that I could pay instructors to do instructing, and that I didn't have to spend all my day
Right.
doing that because it's too much.
Is it?
It is too much.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Well, and when you have accreditation and financial aid,
It's a whole nother thing.
it's a totally different thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
You literally,
Too
that's
much.
a job alone
You
right
couldn't-
there. Nobody
you
can do
couldn't
that
do it.
and all the other things.
let me just say you could do it, but it might not be your best quality work because it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah,
much.
it is.
Yeah, so.
It is. I'm overwhelmed now, and I don't have that.
Well, you're overwhelmed too because you care. You want to develop, you want to deliver excellence, and you have a darling school, and you work really hard to keep it wonderful, and that takes a
try.
lot of work.
It does. It takes a lot of work. So that kind of goes into the next little question. How people think owning a school is so glamorous. Tell us what it looks like behind the scenes.
Anytime you have a business that involves lots of people, especially young females, and some guys too, but
Yes.
there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of interesting dynamics these days with the younger generations that didn't exist when I was their age, and that was a long time ago.
Right.
And I found myself pretty much appalled most of the time at the sense of entitlement, the sense of how the world owed them something. And there was and I'm not going to say this was all the time, but I found that I truly had to develop a culture. I had to communicate what I wanted it to be, and I had to expect it, and I had to manage it. And once you, sometimes people just don't even know that they've done that. But when you know that you want a culture of great customer service, cleanliness, an understanding of the laws and the regulations that govern this industry, and that you are following those rules,
Yeah.
and that you're striving for excellence all the time in everything you do. Mm-hmm. You may not even know you're doing that. It just may be the example that you set.
Your standards.
Right. But I was lucky enough to work for an organization in banking that was amazing. And those types of things were actively taught. They were actively expected.
Yeah.
And so you can say, I want great customer service, but until you define what that is,
Yes.
you answer a phone call within 3 rings, or there's just so many things that you can say, this is what I believe constitutes great customer service. You greet the client, you call them by name, you thank them when you're done, what do you want them to do? You teach it that way, and you expect it, and you demonstrate it. And so I felt that by having high expectations and really managing to that these young girls and even some of the older ones could see that maybe they never knew, maybe they were never taught, maybe they just, some of them maybe were raised by wolves.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, because I feel like everyone we have talked to for the podcast, culture is something that comes up. Mm-hmm. It's a huge thing, and you have to manage it. You have to control it. Mm-hmm. And
you have to define it
completely. Yeah. And like we've had instances where, I don't know, like just through circumstantial things, we weren't on top of our game, and we lost our culture. We lost it. It became, and we hate saying it, but toxic, and it was. And it's hard to come back from that. Mm-hmm. And I know I even went to you and asked, like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And you're like, let's take your school back. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And that's, but it's sometimes it's just talking through things and talking to somebody that's not in the middle of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That helps. And these things, but to maintain that culture is just, it's huge. Yeah. And those, to me, and you might agree, that's the stuff in the background that is not glamorous, right. Is that we have to do.
Yeah.
Daily.
Well, I had a comment from one of my students who came to rent a suite from me, and she said, so and so and I, whoever her friend was that also went to my school, went to the school after I sold it. And maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway. They were getting a pedicure, and they were watching, they were observing what the girls were doing
Yeah.
after I was gone. And they were sitting there going, well, Miss Terry would be pissed.
Right.
You know? Like, look what she just did, or look what she just did. And mostly that was about sanitation. But I love that. I love it that they knew.
Yeah.
And when they go to work in a salon, I think many times they see things they never would have seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes they fall right back into it, but it's not for lack of trying. So,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to want to learn, and sometimes there are those people that think that they know everything and they're going to cut the corners, like we
Oh, yeah.
kind of already said. And that's unfortunate, but while they're here, while they're under our instruction, you're going to do it our way. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
They always have aha moments. They will always.
You know what? And they do. And it's funny because we have a graduating class that's getting ready to go, and they were kind of there and at part of that area where it got funky. And as soon as the air cleared a little, they all saw what was happening. And, you know, and then Katie and I were also at a point to where we're not tolerating this anymore either. Like,
It can be a
we're
pack
done.
mentality. And I said, once
We
you
were raw
take
meat
back-
in the middle of a field
But
with
once
some
you
hungry
take
wolves.
it back and become the alpha again,
Yeah,
then it starts to get better.
it is, and it is, but you know, you live and learn through all of these processes. Because I feel like if you're not learning, you're an idiot. You know, like if you stop trying to open up your mind and figure some things out and some solutions, you know, because my way may not be the best way. It's just how I know right now, you know. Like I had a conversation with a student the other day, you know, she's like, I don't think this should be like this, and I think it should have been like this. And I was like, well, in your exit interview, if you have solutions and you think you can come up with a solution that might be better, that could make the school better, I'm completely open to that.
Yep.
But don't come to somebody with a problem if you don't have a solution. You know, that's kind of my thought. Like, yeah,
It's true.
I get it. I understand that's an issue.
Yeah.
How do you suggest we fix that? Because I would love to know.
Yeah. Well, we had I'm going to call it a suggestion box kind of concept. It was called an opportunity to improve, where you had to state the problem, you had to give me your proposed solution, and that really made people stop complaining. I want to say it's all right for you to recognize something that can be better, but if all you're going to do is complain about it, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Start telling me what you think we can do to fix it, and it changes the mindset. So, don't complain. Go write it up.
Yeah.
and we'll
No, that's
evaluate it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
idea.
and one
And
thing
we always followed up. We had a standard for how long we would chew on it, how long we would deal with it.
Yeah.
And we had to follow up within a certain number of days with that student to tell them what our response would be to their
How we
opportunity
feel
to
about it.
improve. Right.
Yeah. Well,
part
and
of
I
our
think that's
standards.
brilliant because also they start to take ownership a little bit, and they have more pride as well.
Well, they have to think.
Yeah.
They have to think of a solution rather than just complaining.
Yeah, because I can complain all day long.
I love to complain.
You know, same. But
Yes.
it's just, you know, it's like to come up with a solution for some of the things we complain about. I'm like, I have no clue. I don't know how to make that better. So
As a school owner, we truly, almost everyone I've ever met, and I've met a lot because of my job with the Accrediting Society. I've been
Oh,
to
yeah.
hundreds of beauty schools. These people care. They care about your success. They care about. It's amazing to me. They really truly want you to succeed, and it was very empowering to me to see that and to know that hey, I'm not just the only one that wants to give you an amazing experience. And, I can say, this is where I am, this is what I'm going to deliver, but you've got to rise up. And for the most part, they did.
See, I feel like there's been a shift.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, in our students' defense right now, like, we had that open house last week. Everyone showed up. They showed out. They were professional. We had nothing but compliments.
Well,
I was so proud of them. And
feel
they've been doing that lately.
No, but I mean like other salon owners or school owners was my point.
Oh,
I feel
I
like
got you.
that shifted.
You care too much. You try too hard to fix all of for example, being late. Being late, when I was in beauty school, if you were late, bye-bye.
Yeah,
you went home.
we had to implement a thing because
And-
we had a student
Yeah.
just,
And we rarely have
Not
issues
come.
now.
yeah,
Right.
it's improved tremendously.
Yeah.
And it's that way with whenever you have a problem. Dress code. Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a problem. And
That's why
everybody
we did
knew what the dress
uniforms.
code was, but if you showed up and you weren't in the proper dress code, then you can't come to school. And the hard part about that is I'm sending someone home who will now have contract overages. And at the time it was, almost $12 an hour for that whole 7-hour day. And that's a lot of money, and it adds up fast.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was very hard for me to do that to them. And so a lot of times I would just let them get away with it. Well, it doesn't do anybody any good when that happens and you lose total control. So you get accreditation, and all of a sudden you're held to standards for graduation, licensure, placement.
Yep.
And, if somebody's failing for whatever reason,
It's a nightmare.
their failure is my failure.
Yeah.
And so you try really hard to keep students because, not to be crass, but you know what? That's everybody's paycheck. That
Yeah.
pays the bills.
Yeah.
And so you find yourself walking a real tightrope with those things a lot.
It's hard, yeah, because you implement these rules and then you have to uphold them, or what's the point in having the rules? And so,
Yeah.
but it's such a double-edged sword.
Yep.
Because, damn, it sucks. It sucks to follow through with them sometimes.
It's so
because you
hard.
understand, like, sometimes there's weird circumstances and you're like, I get it, but if I let you do this, I have to let everybody else do this.
Yeah.
The first day that we implemented
God,
our
it was
tardy
bad.
policy, she wasn't there, and it was a student who had never been late,
Not once.
and she accidentally overslept that day. It was the first day we implemented
It's
it.
torture. And
And
I don't
I-
think that
it was
they
awful.
understand how hard it is for us.
I know.
I was like crying with her. I'm like,
It felt
Emily,
so
I
bad.
really don't want to do this to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have said her name.
Well, we have
Ma'am.
80 million
Cut it
Emily's, so.
Yeah, but I felt bad. And I don't think she'd be upset
Well,
about
but
it because
you just said she's never late, so-
late.
No.
She really
yeah,
isn't.
she has great attendance.
Yeah.
And Katie called me and told me, and I was like, God, of all people, like, she's never, like.
No, I'm like, why?
But she
her?
was cool. She's like, I understand. I get it.
She was
and-
upset about it that day, and she
Yeah.
was just like, "Can't you please?" And I'm like, "I can't."
Yeah,
because
it
if
just
I,
is what it
Good
is.
for you.
it was hard.
I
It was
always gave
really
it.
hard.
But it's like, if you don't do those things, then you're going to get stomped on, you know? I mean, you're not.
Well,
you're-
then everybody's always late and there's never a consequence and you've
might as well not have
lost
that
all
rule.
control.
Well, they know I'm a softie too. They can usually talk me into just about anything.
Yeah.
But so when I, held her to it,
Yeah.
I think everyone was a little shocked, to be honest, including myself.
And that's a good thing.
But
It was
Good for you.
It was good for me for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
you know what happens? They know you're going to follow through and all of a sudden they try harder to get to school on time or
They do.
And that's exactly what's happened. It truly has, because, and even we're getting to the point, a lot, and we've never had this before, but a lot of students are going to have to pay some extra money at the end.
Yep.
And damn if we haven't had great attendance.
Yeah.
Haven't we? Like, I've never seen better attendance, but I'm like, it's in you guys. You guys like it's holding up other classes, other students, and it's a whole thing. Like you don't understand. It's not just affecting me or you, it's affecting everybody here. So they're starting to understand, and that's the whole thing. It's like when you have, you're implementing these things, it's all for a reason.
Sure.
We're not doing it for shits and giggles because
Right.
it's a pain in the ass.
It really is.
It's so hard. And you feel awful doing it sometimes because you really care about your students. But at the same time, it's like, I'm trying to teach you because if you're showing up late to your job every day,
Yeah.
You're not going to be
You want to know what's funny?
working there.
The girls that were late all the time would never be late to work.
really, that's
Oh,
funny.
no. They knew because it was enforced there.
Well, they
So it has
have
to be
to
enforced
make some money.
in school, too.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we tell them the reason we do all of this is so you have a standard set for yourself when you go work in this industry that your employer won't have to have any issues with you about
Well,
these
also,
things.
this is a school. And if you show up and interrupt everything that's already in progress,
Yeah.
that's not happening in my classroom.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah. It's a lot. And it, it just affects everybody, and that's what I think they're starting to understand through us implementing so many things and following through, is huge with all of it. And I mean, it's like raising your kids. I mean, it truly is. I mean, if I tell my kids you're grounded and then I let them off the next day,
Yeah.
well, you told me it was a week. Well, I know you really wanted to go do that thing and I feel kind of bad and your grades have come up, and so it's like they push buttons and they pull your heartstrings, and
Are you
and
talking about me? Because this feels very much like everything that I do.
no, I was literally thinking of Sam and Zach. They would just look
I
at
think
me
I
like,
had that
"Mom."
same conversation with Brogan a month ago.
Probably. I had them all the time. Every
Right.
mom has. Are you kidding me? Yeah. No,
It's
my
hard.
dad, my mom was a softie and my dad would stick to his guns, and it's like, and I always say like, Katie's like the mom, I'm like the dad. And, I'm like, nope. And, and I was so proud of Katie for sticking to her guns that day. And she's done so many things since then. That's like, but she also sees how it affects our culture. And it goes back to that.
For sure. And, I have to hold myself to a higher standard to expect my students to meet that standard. So,
I actually had to tell my instructors everybody has to be there by 8:30. At 8:30, lock the door and walk away because they couldn't have the conversations. I would not wish that on them.
I know.
It was too hard. Like you said, you cried with her. I'm sorry, but if it's
hugging her in the street.
if it's 8:30 and you're not here, you're not going to be able to get in. And so nobody has to cry, and you know the reason why.
Yeah. Now they'll text, I won't be there because it's 8:15 because we start our clinic floor starts at 8:30 a.m. So I'm like, it's 8:15 and that gives them a 15-minute leeway.
Yep.
And they'll just text, I'm not going to make it by 8:15. I'm like, have a nice day.
No one's complained about it since those few months back either.
It's been fine and it works. And
But you know what? They're showing up and they're working hard now. Like the few classes since we've implemented all of these rules, they don't waste their time.
Since you've been enforcing all of these rules.
Correct. They're not wasting time.
Yeah.
They're really working hard. They know what's expected of them, and there's not a peep about it.
And do
Yeah.
you know how much better they feel about themselves when they are successful and when they know that they're doing things they should be?
Yes.
That's why everybody's happy.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
so much. I don't know what part of human nature it is, but it's a real thing. Mm-hmm. So good for you.
It's been good.
Yay.
Not to like make it about us.
growing
but,
a backbone.
yeah.
Well, we've all been there where I thank God don't have to deal with it anymore, but
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it is. It's a thing that you learn, and I feel like it's an age thing, and
Yeah.
so it is harder when you're younger. It is tough because I was not that person when I was younger, but when I was older, I don't have a problem doing it.
but
At
you were
all.
taught that way. You knew what was right.
Well, I was raised pretty strict. My dad was very strict. So
So
I was
you
held
knew.
to really high standards, yeah, for a long time. And I put that pressure on myself. I put
Yeah.
it on my kids, and now I put it on my students. And so I'm in counseling. I'm working through it.
So basically, I'm a fucking mess. My kids are scared of me. My students are. Everyone's scared.
another drink?
My dog Finn can't look at me in the
Yeah,
eyeballs. He's
actually,
like,
that's actually
I'm
not
like,
a lie.
no, it's not. I told Ron the other night, I'm like, it's my energy. He doesn't like my energy.
He doesn't.
It's messed up. Like, he is just like, who is this woman and why is she in my life?
Why is she in charge of me?
Why does she own me? Yeah. And then we've got Molly, who's just, I don't know
Yeah,
what she's
this
doing
is-
right now. She's sleeping with her mouth open and all kinds of things over there.
And you want to know what's funny? There's absolutely nothing under her.
No.
She's like bridging the gap.
She
between
does. That's what she always does. That it's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
So all right. So when we talk about what it takes to run the school and doing all of these things, and being a leader, sticking to our guns, like all those things. There comes to a point to where we're supporting our students, we're helping them through their things, and all that. Like, I know we have like emotionally struggled at times with some of our students because
Yeah.
of stuff they're going through personally, good and bad, and it's like, and that's hard.
Yeah.
And it's also like we feel that with our clients behind the chair, and then you leave that, and then now we have it with our students too.
Well, and see, in your school, as a cash pay school, there are some things that exist that don't exist in schools that have financial aid. So you usually have parents that are more invested. You know that there's more support. These are really different animals. So
Yeah,
in my
that's
school, there was a time when there were so many girls that had babies and no baby daddies,
Oh,
no
yes.
money,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
And they struggled. It was very
It's a
hard
lot.
for them. And there were some very sad things. And
Yeah.
I mean, even one time, one of our students had a boyfriend that was just evil, horrible. And so here they are sitting in theory class, and this dude comes in and just parks himself right in the front row, right next to her in the seat, like intimidating.
Oh
And
my God.
so, I mean, this is like a gang member kind of a guy,
Right.
and I had to go up and say, "Excuse me."
You need to go.
Yeah, I was scared to death.
I bet.
But
Holy shit.
That's
it's
crazy.
just, yeah. So you know that they're struggling, and you know that it's you want to help them, and when you have to deal with some of these things that you know are going to cost them money and not it
Yeah.
just affects their success, and
Yeah.
it's so painful. And so you want to give in a lot more, but
I know.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. I know. Well, and and it's just like, enforcing those rules, but it's like, I mean, I know, like, and I think it is because we're a smaller school, we definitely feel it more. And, and I tell the girls up front at orientation, I'm like, please let Katie and I know what is going on with you. Because if you're having an off day, we're that small that it affects all of us.
All
And
of us.
we need to know, like, what's going on in your life. And if we can help you, too.
Right.
I mean, the world's fucked up. I don't know what else to say.
it's only getting better.
I can also adjust my level of expectation
Exactly.
if I know that you have some
Right.
shit going on.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yep.
I can maybe not put the walk-ins on you today, and you can do some book work today. As
Yeah.
long as you are productive, if I get it.
But at the same time, they need to understand that in the real world,
life.
nobody is going to do that for you. And
Correct.
you need to take those clients because you need to make money.
And sometimes,
So-
and I've told the girls in the past, like, I know your mind isn't in it right now, or your heart, or whatever it may be, whatever you're going through. But I know, like, in my past relationship, in my last life, I would go to work some days and I had been screamed at all morning, and I had to put a smile on and
Pretend
be
like
that
everything is
person.
wonderful. Yeah.
And that's what I've told the girls. I'm like, check it at the door, because that's how it is in real life, you know? Like it is, it's tough. And you're right. Nobody gives.
People want their hair done.
Yeah.
But
If
at
any
the
of my
same time,
clients-
they don't want to walk in and hear you
Be sad
Bitching
and
and
moan
moaning.
about your life.
Not at all.
Right?
They want to talk
Correct.
about theirs.
Well, let them talk about theirs, but your job is to be professional,
Yep.
to be an educator,
Yeah.
to talk about their hair, to show them solutions, to be above all that.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. It's like, and that's what I tell, the girls, like, I'm like, I'm sorry this is happening with you right now, but don't let it affect your education.
Right.
Don't let it affect your day, And I remember someone telling me that when I was working, and my ex-fiance called my wedding off, and I went in bawling, and I'm like, I don't want to work today. And she's like, please don't let this ruin your career, everything you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't function. Like, I think I lost like 40 pounds and I didn't need to. Like, and I mean, it was devastating for me. And so I couldn't. I was 24, 25 years old, and my world was over in my mind, And it's
Yeah.
like when you're that age, you don't know how many other fish there are in the sea, because there's a lot of fish in the sea.
There are.
There are.
I mean, I've had days. If any of my clients listen to this, they can probably attest to this. They would walk in and I had black
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
And still doing their hair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
just crazy stuff. I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah.
but you're right. The bills have to get paid. I mean, what am I going to do? Not work for 2 weeks while I'm waiting for
Yeah.
my eyes
Yeah.
Yep.
to heal? I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Had a pretty cupcake life.
That's good.
I mean, from marriage on. Before
I know.
that, I was kind of
Right.
Terry's always
Yeah.
like, I have the best husband. I love it. I love that for you. I do now. I have a great husband now, but it took a long time to get there. And and everybody goes through challenges in life. Everybody has their things. It may not be a relationship. I mean, it could be so many other things, that come into play. And I feel like a little bit of this generation, they're softies.
Well, I think there's another aspect to it that just occurred to me. And I realized that sometimes it's how you see it. Because I think, oh, I've had this cupcake life. Then what if I really thought about it? I think, wow, you know what? I just lost my brother, and that just about brought me to my knees.
Terrible.
The woman who bought my school is not paying me. And I had to go through a horrible lawsuit, and she's still not paying me. And that
She's
was
horrible.
my retirement. There are things that I could let
For
bring me
sure,
to
dwell
my
on
knees.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, if it's just the way I'm made, but
your cup is half full,
absolutely.
not half empty.
It's just who I am.
And that's the great thing about you. And that's what, you want to bring to your students too. Like you want to teach them to have that better attitude. Like I'm reading the book, and I wish I could remember his name, and he was a hairdresser, but he wrote a book, and it's called Be a Daymaker. And I love this book. It's not a big book at all. It's a tiny book because I'm not much of a reader anymore. But, it is so cool because it literally talks about being that person in every aspect and in every day of your life, because you don't know what they are dealing with at home or what they have going on. Try to make their day better, because when you make someone else feel better, you're going to feel better.
Yeah. Well, and I had a boss at the bank, and there are times in your life where you just think, I can't do this, or it's impossible. Whatever I'm looking to do, it's impossible. And because we were project managers, everybody wanted to be, that can't be done, blah, 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 But she would look at you, and she was not a banker. She came from a different part of the world and was dropped into a management position over a bunch of bankers. And she didn't care. She didn't know if it could work or not. Somebody came and said, this is what we want to do. And she would look at you and say, you're like, well, this can't be done. She would go, but if you could, how would you? And everybody's like, I hate you. But it forced them to think outside the box and to figure out how could we? And so people need to think more like that.
For sure.
Yeah. It's
I want you guys to know what this book is. You need to get it. So, and there's even daymakermovement.com. But so this book is by David Wagner, and he's the owner of Jute Salon and Spas. And I got to tell you the story. I cry every time I tell my students this. And I tell every student, every group this story. But he had a woman come in to get her hair done. And it was his last client. He was tired. And she came in, and it was between appointments, not a normal time. She'd come in. She's like, I just want my hair done. I just want it styled. I just want to look pretty. Have you heard this?
no.
Oh, God, you're going to cry.
Like,
And, and he was talking to her, just, he's like, I took my time with her. I was laughing, and we were just chatting it up. And she came in for her next appointment, and she's like, I just want you to know you saved my life. This is where I cry.
yeah.
She was going to go home and kill herself.
Oh my gosh.
And she wanted to look pretty when they found her.
Wow.
Wow.
And he had no idea. And he's like, what if I was in a bad mood? What if I rushed? And that is literally, it's changed his life. And now he does this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn, like, and I tell my students this because I'm like, it's so important on how we treat our clients in our chairs. And I want them to understand the power that we have with some of our clients.
Enormous.
And we don't know what they have going on at home.
Yeah.
We don't know. And what they don't have going on.
Well, there was one day when it got to be lunchtime, and the students were told, if you aren't done by lunchtime, an instructor will finish the service because you're going to go to lunch. And so I had to go out on the clinic and finish up a client. Well, the woman, what I didn't know, the girl had cut her hair, and she told me, I usually get a perm, but I can't afford it. I just lost my job at the factory. I'm 64 years old, so I'm too young for Social Security. I'm going out to look for a job today, and I need to look good. Well, we didn't have this conversation until I got done doing her hair. And because she didn't get a perm, I thought, there's a product that I really love. When you have hair that just won't hold a curl, which is mine, you find those things. And so I can remember it was called Thermal Straight by Rusk, and it was STR and then the number 8.
8, yeah.
And it was incredible. And so I showed her how you can spray this on your hair, and I took apart and I put the iron on and held it and then took it off, and when it cooled, it stayed in that shape, and it really holds a curl. Unbelievable. With a lot of products like that now.
I know, I love those. That
Oh my
stuff.
gosh.
Yeah.
And then I said, just pull your fingers through it, and I styled her hair. And she sat there and she looked at herself in the mirror, and she looked so much better. But I took the time I didn't have to style her hair. She just got a haircut. I want a client to walk out with styled hair. That's your advertising. And she was so happy, and that's when she told me about because I was telling her about a product, because I am huge about selling retail, because those are solutions. That's not me, hey little lady, I got this can of hairspray just for you. That's not what it's about. It's about solutions. And so she needed it.
Yeah.
So that was when she told me about losing her job, and how, she was devastated. She was devastated.
I bet.
But she felt like when she looked in the mirror that day that she could
could
do it.
Conquer the world.
And she said, so I don't have the money for the product, but when I do, I'll come back and get it. And I'm like,
take it.
it's yours. And she started crying.
I know.
And every client should be that wonderful kind of interaction that has them walking away knowing that you really care.
Yeah.
Not just about their hair, but who they are as a human being.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
And that's the business that we're in. We can change lives. We absolutely can change lives.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, if you don't care, it's not going to happen.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just so important that our students understand
The power they have.
yeah. It's
they do,
because it really is crazy.
Yeah.
It's really
And they
crazy.
will. They will. I feel like it wasn't until I got into the salon and built my personal clientele that it was like, I love these people, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they will. But we have great loyal clients here at the school too that when a student has them so many times and then they're getting ready to graduate and they have to pass them on, they're like, oh, I'm going to miss them.
But
And-
to me, the objective was that the client would follow you to the
well,
salon.
we would help, but
Yeah.
and we've
Some of them
had
do.
that.
Some of them, it's
and
about
we
the
promote
money, but-
that.
yeah.
But there's some people that just love coming to the school, a great
Yes.
location, and the pricing and all that.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah,
so-
and I think some people really like supporting
students.
the students in general. Just
Yep.
like they don't care what student they have. They're just like, I think this
Yep.
is a great program
Yeah.
that we're supporting and helping them learn. So
Yeah, for
We
sure.
had a lot of students, well, I don't want to say a lot because truly the students that the clients do follow, those exceptional students that have worked to create those relationships and
Yeah.
they walk out with a ready-made clientele.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen
yeah,
so many times. And
it's awesome.
it is.
I love
really
it.
is,
Like I
yeah.
told Tika today, I was like, you have a client for life. She went above and beyond today, and she was so proud of herself. And it was out of her comfort zone. And she's like, I did things I didn't know or didn't think I knew. And she's like, I did it. Like I had no doubt in my mind you could do it. And I said, and I said, and that girl, her mom was videotaping it, like recording it on her
Yeah.
phone, not videotaping, but recording it on her phone. And she was like, and she's like, I was so nervous. And I was like, you know why she was doing that? Because nobody's ever taken the time to do her daughter's hair. And her mom was white, her daughter's mixed, you know, and her mom's like, I don't have a clue what I'm
Sure.
doing.
We had that
You know
a lot.
what? Yeah. And so it's like, you know, there's these moms out there like, I don't know what to do with my daughter. And, you know, and she was an older girl too.
Yeah.
And she's like, no one's ever done this to my hair. No one's ever taken the time to do this, those little tiny things that she went above and beyond. And I said, you have a client for life. I guarantee you right now.
It's true.
And she was like, you think? I'm like, oh, I know. I was like, nobody, look how old she is and no one's ever done that for her.
Yeah. Well, when you do a great service and you're also a day maker,
Yep.
because it takes both sides.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean, they
And-
were so, I mean, were they just not the happiest damn people when they left?
Yes. And she is a day maker. People love
Yes,
her.
I know she does. People are like, no, I only want her. It's funny. It's crazy, but
Love
she's
that.
great.
She's good.
Well, give her a shout out. What's her name?
Yartika.
There
Yeah,
you
she
go.
was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 47. Well, she just turned 48. Yep. It's you, Terry. And she always wanted to do it. Life didn't let her do it until now. And she was even like, Liz, I don't know if I can finish. Like she's had crazy things happen since she's been in school. And she's like, I was like, nope, I am not letting you not finish this time.
Well, and days like today are ones that validate what she's doing
Yeah.
and that she should be doing
Oh,
it.
she absolutely needs to be doing this. She's so good at it, and she's so good with people.
She's so detailed too, and she's so artistic. She's good.
yeah, she is. She's
I
great.
love that.
So I'm excited for her. Yeah. So industry changes, like so it's shifted a ton. The whole industry has, good and bad. COVID was weird. And I think it opened up a lot of doors for some different types of spaces.
Well, I think I mentioned that we've been in 3 locations. So the first building that I bought, we put our heart and soul into it and a lot of money. And I didn't want to just sell it. So I kept it.
Yeah.
And moved our school, but I had to figure out what to do with this building. So I built the first salon suite. And I had a person who was interested, and so we rented it to him, and he was the only person in the place. And then someone came along and talked to me and said they wanted a salon suite, so we built out another one. And we kept on doing it, and now there are 19. And there's a space it was a 10-chair salon. And then after that salon moved, a guy who makes stickers started renting it. So it's not even salon space anymore. But the whole salon suite concept, I think is wonderful. I went in there today, and you could hear the buzz, just like in a salon. Everybody's talking and laughing, and just that salon vibe that's wonderful. But at the same time, if you didn't want to hear it, if you didn't want,
You close your door.
You close
Shut
your
your
door.
door.
By the way,
That's right.
I rented a salon suite from Terry, and I did love it. It was a great location. And
Wow.
you're a great person to rent from as well. And I've been in a few buildings
Thank you.
in town, so definitely my favorite.
Well, you have to
Yeah.
be nice to people, I think.
You
You have to be
do.
fair, and you have to care. And I try. I've always tried because I do care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of go with the flow sometimes. But I do think that the salon suites are such a great concept. And I actually have a girl starting right now who is fresh out of beauty school. She's a nail tech, and I think she has that built-in clientele because when you have nails done, you are captive. And if there's somebody who does what you like, they'll follow you to the ends of the
Right.
earth.
Oh, they will.
And you will make more money than anybody in this industry.
Nails are
Yes,
that
they're
is
huge.
the thing. God, I wish I was good at nails.
I know. I don't have the patience.
Oh, I was
I don't
horrible.
either.
I know. I'm such a
I
hair
love
person.
doing a great pedicure, which is weird,
Oh, me
but
too.
I do love it. God, there's nothing.
Yeah.
The best compliments I feel like I could receive is my scalp massage and my foot massage.
There you
Yeah,
go.
best shampoo.
There you go.
Katie gets,
You know, it's like people will
best
never
shampoo.
go anywhere else if you can make
Oh, yeah.
them feel great.
I make her shampoo, like show all the new students. I'm like, Katie's going to teach you guys how to shampoo because it's the best.
Yep. I taught shampooing too, and I would put you in the chair because you needed to feel it.
That's what I tell
I can't
them.
tell
Yeah.
you. You have to feel it.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a way, when I was here and I was trying to show Layla how to hold the head, if you do it a few times, you realize it works. And so Layla, she didn't want to. She wanted to reach down and pick up my head like it was a baby and she was cradling
Cradle it.
But I think she realized in a minute that
You
it
can't
didn't
do
work
that.
for her.
No, well, you can't do
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. And you can't if your arm is under there, you can't rinse back in the back of the
Yeah.
neck. So I think she, every
It's
now
so
and then her
awkward at
old
first.
grandma can tell her something.
Right? Yeah, I know. Like,
Teach her
listen,
something.
like, I know. Like, I'm old, I know, but damn it,
Yeah.
I know something.
I know it. I know some shit.
I know. Like, that's the thing. And it's just,
Been there, done that.
I know, but it is. I think shampooing's so awkward at first for everybody, and they're
It
just
is.
like they worried about getting everyone wet. And I'm like, it's unless you're a wicked witch,
Right.
it's just water, and you're gonna be fine.
Well,
it's
and
gonna
I'm
be
going to
okay.
stand here and I'm going to make you do it till you get it.
Yeah,
Just like my grandson, I just cut his hair, and like I said, he's got a boy haircut for
Yeah.
the first time. And he doesn't even know how to comb his hair.
Aw.
He doesn't even know how to comb
but
hair.
he literally like probably just didn't.
Well,
I mean, a lot of men
His hair was
don't.
very long.
Oh yeah, I put him
Yeah.
in front of the mirror in the bathroom, and I showed him, on this side you're going to do that, you're going to do that, you're going to do that, and so he would do it, and then I'd mess it all up and make him do it again and again and again. And when he left,
He had it
yeah,
down.
but the next morning he texted me and asked me a question. Grandma, am I supposed to get it wet first?
Oh my god, I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
It's, I used to say practice makes.
Perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Practice makes better.
Well, that's
funny.
a
So
good. That's
don't
true.
set yourself
That's
up.
funny.
That's true. Very true.
God,
yeah.
you should see my walls get covered in water in the morning after Rogan's in there fixing his hair. He's in
whole
there
thing.
longer than I am. I'm like, yeah, we need that second bathroom now.
Right.
Now.
Well, I did hear somebody say that the secret to a happy marriage is separate bathrooms.
This is my child.
I
He's
won't
11.
but I won't even let my husband
My
come
husband
in my
doesn't even
bathroom.
have hair.
I know, right?
He won't. He knows better.
Yeah.
We share one bathroom, and it's getting rough now that my
I
kid
can't.
He's
has a hair
older.
routine in the morning.
Well, he gets it permed. He gets all the things.
Well, especially when you're, for me growing, I had 2 boys and then a husband. Even my dog was a boy. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, that's
Me
why
too.
Molly's
I'm
a
not
girl
sharing a
because I
bathroom with a
had
bunch
all
of boys.
boys.
I know. It's my next thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
awful.
I know. It is. It truly is the worst. So, kind of going into like everything, you had your school for 13 years, clearly experienced a lot, moved 3 times, all those things. How'd you deal with burnout? Or did you deal with it?
I'm probably unique in that the only time I ever really felt burned out was when I knew I was wanting to retire, and the person that I was selling the school to, it took her a year to be able to get the financing around.
Barely.
And
She
I
didn't
was
even do
so
that.
fried by the time we actually signed the papers because I was done. I checked out.
Yeah.
And that was hard. And I don't know, I mean, that may not be classified as burnout in this industry, but also I set myself up as, like I told you before, I taught some things. I taught
Yeah.
laws and rules, and I taught eyebrow waxing, and I taught business building. Those were my babies. Those were my things that
Yeah.
I taught like nobody else.
Yeah.
And so I taught that, but I can tell you that because I didn't teach every day, my patience level was zero. And if I saw somebody get a phone out, or if they started talking to their next door neighbor, or I could tell they weren't paying attention, I could barely continue.
It's so distracting.
It's awful.
It's
and I
so
actually
distracting.
found myself, I had to address it.
Yeah.
I had to address it. And I would say, I am so sorry, but when you are talking or when you are on your phone, it's so distracting for me and it makes it really hard for me to teach. So I'm going to beg of you, please
Be
help me out
respectful.
here. Help me out here. Yeah. And I just had to say that I can't even remember what I'm talking about sometimes when people do that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I will completely like zone in on somebody not listening to the lesson.
Yes.
And when they do that, I stop.
I just stop.
Yeah, I stop and stare at them.
I don't
It's
even,
really
I can't,
awkward.
like, I'm literally trying to move forward and I can't because I'm
Oh,
so,
well-
number one, pissed off.
Yeah.
And,
It's
it's
rude.
like, it's shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just stare at them. Like if I'm reviewing in the back, and I'm like, I just told 3 people on the floor to keep themselves busy and like,
Yeah.
please do another haircut and I'll check both or something. Like,
Yeah.
please, just let me get through this lesson with you.
Yeah.
Or else, why am I sitting here talking
Right.
to a sleeping human? That's stupid.
But I guess the burnout thing, I could tell with my instructors that at times it was hard, and so we'd switch it up. Maybe, and we had a separate junior room instructor that's what they did.
Yeah.
And we would rotate through, though, because you can't just,
Teaching over and over.
it's exhausting. So everybody got to do something different.
Oh, that's cool.
And rotated through. That's
That's
one way
awesome.
that I tried to help them. But, my job, I liked to consider myself the visionary. What's the next big thing? What are we going to do next? Are we going to have an event? Are we going to do just that planning and that
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to keep it exciting and
fresh.
keep it, yes. And a lot of things that keep students from getting burned out because they get burned out big time, way faster than an instructor will. So, some schools don't do any of that.
I know.
And I kept asking myself, why are you trying so hard? Why do you keep running up against the wall and bashing into it and getting up and doing it again?
Yeah.
But, we would do things like a Goodwill fashion show where everybody had to go to Goodwill and get an outfit. We even took time during school to go to Goodwill.
Right.
And I had to spend a lot of money because there were girls who just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And then we'd have the fashion show. And that day there's a woman in this town who's a genius, who is amazing. And she would bake cookies and cupcakes and all these beautiful, she did little cookies that were shaped like a stiletto with a
cute.
high heel that was
Yeah.
a cookie. They were so beautiful. And she just did the most creative, wonderful things. And she would always do it for every event that we had.
Nice.
And those things were the most memorable things to me. So
Yeah.
that's how I kind of kept myself,
Yeah.
what's the next big thing? And so I was basically still managing projects, even though I owned a school.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I do that too. Like Katie and I are always trying to come up with things. Katie's really good on the floor. with
Katie's
the students.
really good on the floor.
She is. And she actually just implemented a thing where they kind of, it was like was it a month long? It was a month where you did the,
Yeah. That
and
was fun.
They did like, it was like they were booth renting or
Yeah.
in a suite, and they had to, shell out money every week. And Katie went and got Monopoly money, like fake money, and would pay them for every service that they did on the floor with their
Well, remember
money.
how we talked about that? Figuring out what your paycheck is.
Oh,
every month.
yeah.
If the work you're doing in school, if this was your job,
Yes.
pick a salon, go get their menu of services.
Yeah.
And that's how much money you're earning.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the week, how much did you make?
Yeah.
Can you eat?
Yeah.
Can you pay your bills?
Yeah,
And-
exactly. That's that's what it teaches them.
Sure.
Is like, oh, it's, because I always have them do like right in the back, before they go on the floor, like you're gonna create a salon and you're gonna see how much it costs to buy the product and all the things, because it's expensive. It's a lot of money, and they need to understand that things aren't free. Because I always love it when they're like, I dropped my clippers and they broke. I'm like, that's a shame. Like,
Yeah.
if it has a warranty, we'll send it back if they'll replace it. But otherwise, then you're going to need to replace that. Like I don't replace broken things that get dropped on the floor. But they learned through that, and they enjoyed it because it was interactive.
Right.
It was something different, and they were hustling.
They
trying
were
get
ready
more
to
people
collect,
in.
Well, and-
too. They're like, I need this.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's
okay.
a concept that I also learned in banking about if you measure it, it will improve. And it's true. So we took it one step further, and we posted on poster board how much money everybody made every day. They had to go write their dollars.
Oh,
on
that's
it.
a good one. We should
And
make them do that.
Nobody
so they can
wanted
see.
to be on the bottom of that
Yeah.
list. Nobody wanted to be on the bottom
Yeah.
of that list.
No,
I mean,
that's
it's up there for the world to see that you either do nothing, you're avoiding work,
Right.
or nobody wants you, or
Yeah. Whatever it
suck,
is.
you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
whatever it is.
I
They don't wanna
shared
be
our-
that.
Our sales, I have like I really love numbers and like having goals, and that's
Oh,
my
you have
other
to have goals.
secret like passion is just marketing and accounting, that weird stuff. But so today I was like, so this is the weekly goal I set probably over a year ago, and we haven't hit it in a while. It's been slow. January, I mean,
Yeah.
the weather was horrible. We haven't hit it in a little bit. So we're having a potluck Monday if they hit it, and everybody's so excited. They're like, our last client checked out today. Where are we at now? How
Yeah.
much money did we
Yeah.
make? What do we need to do tomorrow? How
You're
many
measuring it, and
services
it's
do we need to
improving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually, one of our guests was talking about how she helps people measure their metrics. So I also implemented that up front. And so the receptionist kind of keeps track of rebooking, how many
Yes.
clients they've done, retail,
Yes.
if they handed out business cards, just certain things like that. And so I'm going to kind of try to come up with like a level system for that. So you can hit this level when you've rebooked this many clients and done all these other things. And
Because in commission salons, they have level systems.
Yep.
Correct.
They need to learn about that.
Yep. I know.
well, and that was a thing at the school too.
Yeah.
The levels.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and I think all those, those things, help us with our burnout, helps them with their burnout. Because I know I just get like, especially after a week like we had last week, we had 4 events in 1 week, and it was insane. And by Friday I couldn't hardly make a sentence. And
If anybody wants me, I'll be downstairs sleeping.
I know, like
seriously.
we were checked out,
I know.
and so it's just, and the girls, we have this class that started a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, well, this is a crazy week. They're not all like this, but this one, like, I'm like, this happens sometimes, and I'm like, so Friday, you guys are probably gonna have it pretty easy, because I'm like, I will be a ball of mush, but I mean, so it's it's like, it's nice to to keep, and I think, and again, back to the culture, I think if you can keep that culture up, and you can keep those students happy and keep everybody excited about things, everything.
Katie touched on two things that I am psycho about. And the first one was goals. And we actually had a class, part of business building, which is the other thing I wanted to allude to, that we started out talking about SMART goals. And that's an acronym, you know, specific, measurable, attainable, time-tied, blah, blah. So we taught them how to set a goal.
Yeah.
What is a goal and how do you set one? And they have to have those 5 components or it's not a goal.
Right.
It's just a statement and not a goal. And so we talked about, you know, the value of one client to your bottom line and the value of that one client if you recommend another service and now they're getting their hair cut and you're waxing their eyebrows. How much did that change how much money you make in a year? So we made some assumptions and we showed them how you just gave yourself a $7,000 a year raise by implementing that.
Yeah.
And it was powerful. And so setting goals and understanding how to measure it and how to set it and how to be realistic and keep that in the forefront of what you're doing, because if you're not measuring, you're just flailing. You don't even know what you're doing or where you are. And then these best practices where you're now measuring and you're holding their feet to the fire, you're holding them accountable for doing it because you're measuring it. Those best practices, that's my baby. That is my thing. And in my school, we focused heavily on business building. Heavily. There were multiple classes with my 7 R's, and they...
Oh, yeah. You told me these.
They're the things that I feel will make you successful. So retail, selling retail. And we would have a whole day class on selling retail. I can talk till I'm blue in the face.
Right.
There are so many things that you can tell and teach people about selling retail.
Yeah.
Why? That why is one of the biggest reasons you're going to generate client loyalty. You're educating your client. They're going to be happier with their hair or whatever it is you're selling them. It's so powerful. And then there's the how. And it's so easy. And I think I told you before that we had a state board inspection and I sold the state board inspector $400 worth of retail products.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
And anybody can do it.
Yeah.
But it's important, it's necessary. And then rebooking. Yeah, if you're not rebooking, you don't have a promise of a paycheck.
Correct.
You know, you've got, maybe your book is full for the next 2 weeks, but 6 weeks out, or 3 weeks out, you don't even have a paycheck.
Yep.
So you have to rebook. And recommending other services, having a referral program, and reaching out and being a part of your community and meeting people and telling them what you do, engage. Record keeping, holy cow. I've seen some scary stuff where people don't even write down their hair color formulas. Nothing.
Oh.
The things that
And then they say
the things that we documented were
they
crazy.
liked what they did last time. They tell
Yeah.
me, I'm like, and you want me to remember it?
I would even write down if I used
Yeah.
other tools in their haircut. I would write down how I cut their hair because so many times they take too long to come back, and who knew? Who knows what that is on your head?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Well, that was like one of the students came and got me today. You were at lunch, and she's like, so-and-so's here and wants her razor cut. And I was like, who? Because I'm not on the floor a lot.
Yeah.
And I got out there, and I was like, oh, I razor cut her hair last time. I could not remember.
Oh, she remembered. She told me.
But
at the
then
top of the service.
once I got into it, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
like,
listen.
and it came back to me. But like, if it's not on paper or in a computer or something, it is not going to stay up
I
here.
had people come and sit in my chair who acted like I walked on water. They loved what I did, and I didn't remember their face
I
or their
know.
name
It's
or what
so
I didn't even
bad.
remember
I
that I ever
hate
even
that.
met them. It's hard.
I hate that.
It's
though.
hard.
It sucks.
So I
It
got real good
is.
at record keeping really fast.
I think it's all the chemicals that we inhale
don't
every day.
know.
I just think I was too old.
brain dead half the time. I'm like, what? Well, and it was like we had someone else in today, and they're like, Liz, they came in and they said you cut their bangs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like,
She told me that on the
What?
phone yesterday.
I was like, what? And then when I saw her, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Hi, Katie. How are you? Like, but I just don't, that stuff goes, it's over. And I tell the girls, you think you're going to remember this shit and you will not. I promise you. I promise you.
And it goes so far beyond what you did and how you did it. It creates opportunities to grow your business.
Yep.
So if you documented, for example, a conversation that you had with them, you can, so-and-so's daughter just went away to college and she was homesick.
How's she doing?
6 weeks now when they come in, and you're not manipulating or anything. You genuinely care enough to write it down. You care enough to ask about it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that person knows that you matter, that they matter to you, and they feel like $1 million. Yeah. How's Cindy Lou Who doing? Is she still homesick? You remembered that about me?
Yeah.
I'm always blown away when people remember things about me.
Same. Yeah.
I feel like $100.
I know. I'm like, oh, yeah.
But
no.
also,
because half the time I've forgotten
right,
about my own thing.
Yeah.
But you find out what are their hobbies, and if they swim, there are chemical treatments that they could benefit from. If they, how many kids do they have? Because guess what? They're going to be my client too by the time I'm done with you, and your husband, and your sister, and her whole family, and their cousins, because I'm going to get the business.
Yeah.
And you're going to want me. You're going to want me to. You're going to refer them, and I'm going to reward you for that. There are so many things about record keeping that
It's very important.
are so important. Yeah.
I know.
And if I don't teach you that, have I really done my job?
Yeah.
No, I
There's-
haven't done my job. Yeah.
The best is when a student is getting ready to do a color, and I'm sure you've experienced this because it happens to me all the time. And I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, well they want their hair touched up. I'm like, did you look up the notes from the last visit? Oh no, hang on. Well, there weren't any notes. I'm like, okay, did you see when they were here last? Yeah, they'll look. Oh, I did them.
Yeah.
And they didn't put notes in. And
No,
I'm
they
like,
look to me to
doesn't it
remember all
suck?
of their formulas.
Well, here's
It's
a little.
beautiful.
Here's
oh,
a little
I know I
important
won't.
thing.
And I won't even try. I don't
Yeah.
have room in my brain.
This Jen Plank that I told you about, she had her 3 Ps, and they were preview, plan, present. So before that client ever gets there, you're going to plan
previewing.
for your day. You're
Yeah.
going to look at your day. Let's say you're out in the real world. So what have I got going on next week? Well, I'm looking at who I have, what services they're getting. Do I have their color on the shelf? Do I have what I need to service them? And then you make a plan. So I'm looking, and I documented the last time I sold you hairspray. And I'm going to make an assumption that you're going to run out of hairspray and, I didn't do that.
That's scary.
Sorry.
It's
I have it
someone
on do not
calling
disturb.
you?
It did do not
Oh, it's
disturb.
because someone called you more than once.
Well, no, I think it's because it was only good for an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're over an
Yeah.
hour.
But that's okay.
That's not normal.
But this preview
Or
plan
it is
present
normal.
was amazing. And so you're going to preview who you've got, what you've got, then you're
Yeah.
going to make a plan. So when I see that I sold her hairspray and I know it's been, whatever my time frame is, I'm going to go grab that hairspray and I'm going to set it right on the counter.
Yeah.
And when she walks in, I'm going to say, when I was looking at my notes, I noticed that it's been 3 months since you got hairspray, so I grabbed a can just in case you need some.
Yep.
It's not hard sell.
Yeah.
I'm
Not at all.
taking care of you.
I know.
So you have to also present it.
Yep.
And it's powerful, and everybody should be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
huge.
sold retail to like a 12-year-old kid today, and I was pretty proud
I know,
of
right?
that one.
It's so funny because we talk to the students all the time about selling retail. And I swear, Katie and I, when we're out there, we
boy.
could sell it
Oh.
in
Oh my
2
god.
seconds.
all day long.
And
Sit in my chair, you're walking out with a whole
Yeah.
arsenal of products.
I know, and it's funny because and the girls are like, oh, I know it's just awkward. And they've got to work through that, But it's like, it's funny. I'm like, it's not hard, you guys. It just really isn't, because it's your canvas. You're creating
Right.
that canvas that you're working on.
Sure.
And that's what we want to have, a nice canvas. We don't want a nasty canvas that's been in the basement with dirt and spiders on it. We
Mud.
want one that has a nice clean white canvas for that color, for that cut, for whatever we're doing. It needs to be nice and clean and ready for us, and that's what those products provide.
Well,
Snaps.
you're a problem solver
Right.
in this business.
Amen.
And you can't solve problems without products. I'm sorry.
No.
I could not live without Purology volumization.
I know, right? It's funny
I
how
could
like
not live-
I have things I always have used for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
We are the original influencers, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
All these people are running to TikTok to figure out. God, I did it the other day. They had this mascara in Target. And I was like, I think I saw that on TikTok. I get in TikTok, instead of Googling it, I get on TikTok and search whatever telescopic, whatever the hell it was. And I'm going through and watching people's videos. They're sitting in our chairs wanting us to show them, tell them, teach them how to use these
Yeah,
products, all of
it's true.
it. We influence them.
Yeah.
Not because we want to make money, but
Well, it's part of
not-
the business.
It is.
But my business is to take care of you.
Correct.
Yeah.
My business to serve you.
Yeah.
It just so happens that because it's my business, that's my employment, and
Yeah.
that's my paycheck.
Yeah.
It is
So,
what it is. And,
there's nothing wrong with
it's
that.
not a bad thing.
It's not.
And it's something that we need to continue to do. For sure.
Or else they're gonna go buy crap.
Oh my God, I know. It's the worst. And then we got to clean that off the hair, which it doesn't work out well always. So now that you've stepped away from ownership and all the fun things, what do you miss?
I miss kind of like the thrill of the hunt. I would say, what am I going to do next? I'm going to add a massage therapy program.
Yeah.
I actually got to the point where I got a part-time job with the Accrediting Society because I needed more. I needed to work harder and more.
Isn't that insane?
I would say I'm like one of
Yeah.
those dogs that has to wear a backpack.
I know.
But I miss that, being able to develop that, to be a, I miss working hard. Mm-hmm. I do other things.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I can't stop.
You're
You're
so
always
busy.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know.
I need to start learning how to have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you have fun doing some of the things
I
you
do.
do. Though.
I love to work. I love
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
It's an accomplishment. You live to shop.
But I had a great time going out to dinner with you, and
It was nice.
we haven't done that in so long.
I know.
and
She was like, that was
Aw.
so fun. I need to do these things more often.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to
like,
play.
You do. I know. We were talking about like we're going to Mexico.
I know. We had it all
like-
figured out.
I know, right? Like it's funny but that's important too.
It
Like, That's
is.
a huge important part of our lives that we always have to nurture too. Like I can't be all business, and I've never been all business until the later years in my life. And so it's like now for me, when I do get time to like go do something, I really, really appreciate it a lot. You know?
Well, I've always been all business, and probably goes back to being a control freak. But
Yeah, but I think that is a lot.
I'm
and
like,
you have to kind of be
you
that
got
way.
to get it done. And the thought, just envisioning your vacation, and I could not do it alone, though. I would need you there, or you there. Or, I need that dynamic.
Yeah.
And I could probably
Let loose. a
not
bit.
relax, but I could do stuff that I
Yeah.
wanted to,
I
fun
know.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like because Ron, when we go on vacation, he wants to he used to want to have an agenda. And I was like, oh, what?
Like, see ya.
I was like, I'm like, I wander
Yeah.
and I find things. And that's like, if I have an agenda, I'm pissed because I'm like, I'm having fun here right now.
I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to
wanna-
go do
yeah.
that. Like,
Right.
I get irritated. And he's like, but so now we kind of have now I don't mind doing a couple things here and there. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, we probably should have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like when we went
But
to
not
Paris,
a hard,
we
fast,
didn't.
solid agenda where you know where you're supposed to be every minute of the day.
God,
You know what,
no.
Terry?
Yeah,
But you like that.
I do.
And you know what? I learned, I went once. I'm really good at Disney, and you have to be that way. We should
Yeah.
just go to Disney. It's so fun. You have to plan your day
Well, I
if
went
you
to
want to do
Disney-
all the
yeah,
things.
I went to Disneyland when I was 12. So
No, it's
does that
fun as an
count?
adult. And they have Epcot where you can drink around the world, and that just sounds amazing.
Oh my God, my son
You
tried
go to
to do
Paris,
that.
I'm gonna drink here. You go to Mexico, I'm gonna drink here.
He was like,
but we could eat
maybe I
around the
need to
world.
start drinking.
We could eat
I know.
around the world.
You can
though.
eat around the world, and that's what I used to
Yeah.
do when I would go with my grandparents when I was young. But
In
then Sam went with
Epcot? I've
his
never
yeah
been to
at
Epcot.
Epcot. Oh God, I love going there and eating.
I know. Brogan wants
It's
to
the
go. I was
best.
like, I
I
kind
wanna
of
go to
want
that
to
Harry
go
Potter.
without you.
I
Oh,
know,
it's
right?
so cool.
I
did
I
that
want to go
too.
to Star Wars World.
Star Wars is cool.
So bad.
So here's what I'll say. That's in Universal, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars is in Disney. You can maybe do 3 rides in Star Wars for a day.
Yeah,
in a day.
I can't do rides. I have massive motion
I-
sickness, but that's why I want to go see the
Yeah.
cool stuff like the Harry
No,
Potter.
it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
You would love it because you can have an
Yeah.
agenda and it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I don't need an agenda, but
I like to
know.
not. I like to wander and just
I like to
stumble
wander.
upon things.
yeah. My whole, if I could do anything I want, would be to hook up the trailer and just start going to thrift stores.
Yeah,
Right?
that would be your perfect.
Yeah.
It'd be
Trip.
so fun.
I know. There's actually a
That'd be
bus
cool.
trip going out of Charlotte that is doing that.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There's your vacation.
Yeah, they're just going to like little places. Because
I'm
I'm like,
trying
where
to
are you
pare
going?
down. I need to get rid of some of these houses. And
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I
Right.
own 11 couches.
Oh. That's
Wow.
10 more than I own.
They're in the houses though, right? Or no? Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's okay.
But-
they're not in your garage or in a storage building somewhere.
That's true.
So
They're all being sat on.
right?
Yeah.
I know. So, all right. So I feel like, like we've kind of like, clearly you've got to stay busy. Clearly you've got to stay busy. We're going to teach you how to vacation, but
I can't wait.
I know it's fun. So if you could look at every beauty student in the eye and tell them one thing, what would your advice be to those students?
Be a boss. Own it.
Yes.
Do the right things.
Yeah.
Be responsible. That's.
I think that's great.
I hear so many times that from people in salons, the new people will have a 2:00 haircut appointment, so they'll show up about 15 minutes before that. When they're done, they leave. I said, schedule one full day to manage your business.
Yeah.
There's so much that has to be done. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do it, you're going to be one of the huge washouts because it's the industry is filled with failed cosmetologists because they
yeah.
don't treat it like a business.
They don't treat it like a career.
Yeah.
It's a fun day at the beauty shop.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not, no.
It's a hard job.
Sure
It's
is.
a lot of work and it's backbreaking.
Mentally and physically.
So, yeah,
I think
gotta
that's
be
great.
Be a boss.
Be a boss. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, because most people do end up self-employed. And so, I mean,
yeah.
and you're going to be as good as you are, as you hustle. And it's a hustle.
Yeah. One of the things that I used to do, and it was just a part of saying, walk through this school like you own it. Open your eyes and be an owner, be a boss. So I would walk through and I'm like, okay, you're supposed to be vacuuming this corridor at a regular interval so that I don't see hair on the carpet. If you don't, I'm just going to go get the vacuum cleaner and I'm going to do it. And when I'm doing your job,
Yeah.
it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I would be walking down the corridor and see, there's a little piece of trash on the floor. And I would wait. And sometimes at the end of the day,
It's
it
still
would
there.
be there. And that was the hardest thing I ever had to do was leave it there. So I told him one time, I said, that's what I do. I see these things. And I said, so I'm going to plant a little piece of trash. And whoever finds it and brings it to me is going to get XYZ, whatever the thing was.
How much trash did you accumulate
They
that
picked
day?
up so much stuff. They were picking up everything, and I want to say this needs to be your focus. This needs to be your life. Strive for that level of amazingness every day.
Without
be a
getting
boss.
a treat at the end.
Yeah, be a boss.
just do it.
Own it.
Yeah.
There's so many components to that, though.
There is, and that's so good because there are, and when you are responsible for yourself and your livelihood, it's a big thing. And other people's success or
Yep.
whatever it may be. And
Yep.
so it's a lot on your shoulders, you know?
Well, and if you lead by example and you are incorporating those best practices in their everyday school day, then it becomes a part of who they are and what they do.
Habits.
And you have given them the best gift that anybody could ever give. So good for you.
And
for you.
good for all of us. Let's
Yeah.
just,
We are so awesome.
We're still here.
bosses.
We're some bosses.
so burned out.
You boss for the students, which I think is wonderful. What about for school owners and educators? Tell us, Terry.
Tell me what you really think.
Tell us.
Make sure that you take care of your people. Make sure that you do great things to recognize them. Make sure that they know how valuable you are to them. Make sure that you recognize every good thing that they do. And it doesn't have to be with money or with things. Just hearing it
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's powerful. And they need to know. They need to know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I had a situation where a little tiny tornado came through Battle Creek and blew the roof off my school.
Oh,
and we were
fun.
out of our building
I
for
remember
over a
that.
year.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
it was so stressful. And these instructors went above and beyond, but I recognized that if I don't, in my insurance policy, I needed to know that there was coverage for paychecks if I had a situation like
sure.
that. Cosmetology instructors don't grow on trees, and there are
God,
very few.
we know.
And to find one that's good is everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. And that is your school right there.
Oh, I know.
And
I know.
I'm like,
her all the time.
everybody
trying to
needs
hide right now.
no pressure. You need to cherish those people and
Oh,
do
yeah.
everything in your power to keep
She's
them
been
and
feeding
make them
me
happy.
lately.
Yeah, and feel
feed her.
appreciated. Yeah. Pour her another drink.
I know, right?
She needs another mimosa.
I know.
All of a sudden, this turned into like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, diverge. I get it.
I'm blushing.
Yeah, I know. But
Literally.
no, it's true. Like, I mean, because I was doing this by myself when I opened, and then when Katie came, and she just
Like I didn't realize how bad it was.
didn't leave. I know, like I just didn't realize like what it could be like to
Right.
have someone to rely on
Yeah.
and to help, and you know, and so it was like amazing.
Well,
And it was a
looking forward
gradual
to the
thing
day.
too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day when you can hire another instructor
Oh,
and
so
you
are
can
we.
be an owner, because being an owner is a huge job.
Oh yeah, and
It's a
it's
huge
I can't
job.
wait to have that time, because like right now I feel bad, like, you know, well, my students, while they're, you know, today, you know, they were doing some blowouts and some things on their mannequins, so I'm on the computer, and then I had one of my students say to me a couple weeks ago, she's like, well, every time I look over, you're like doing something on your computer. I'm like, because that's my time. Like
Exactly.
when you guys, when I don't have to stare at you and talk to you, you know, because I can peek up and give them tips and tricks, but when I can be on my computer and do my other things, you know, because
There's so
many
much.
things, and so it's like, if I that's how I utilize my time. Like I don't just sit and stare at you guys. Like I have 80 million other things I can do while I'm peeking at you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, like lift that hair up higher.
Yep.
Smooth that brush through there.
Yep.
You know, like, you know, so you know, it's multitasking.
Yeah.
So, Terry, I love the advice with making our
Everything.
students be a boss and not taking Katie for. Taking Katie, what is that?
For
Taking you
granted.
for granted. Taking you for granted. Do I take you for granted?
No, but
Okay,
I
good.
also think it's not just geared towards you. I think it's just that's the advice.
Well, I
towards
know,
all
but I mean, I'm
owners.
taking it
Yeah.
for me personally.
Oh.
I don't want to take you for
Thank
granted.
you. You've been feeding.
I
me
mean, we've
lately,
had
so.
engagement photos and all the things
We've done
done,
a
so
lot.
we're pretty much married
And
at this
honestly,
point.
it can be tiny things. It can be such little things.
I
And
told you she's been feeding me. That's a big deal.
loves
to me. 'Cause I don't think about what I'm going to eat when I walk out the door.
Even recognition in front of the students about awesome things you see
Oh,
her
yeah.
do. That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
powerful.
Completely. You're absolutely right. No, I love it all. Everything's been great. We love having you. You're my mentor. I appreciate you. You helped me through so much. I've told you this stuff before, but it is true. And you have helped me tremendously because this is a big journey that I took on blindly by myself. So,
You mean when I told you that you care too much?
Yeah.
I had to reach the point where I realized
Yeah.
you can't fix it all.
You can't.
And you have to just
Yeah.
stick to your guns.
That's where my therapy is helping too.
Yeah.
My control issues.
I really need to try therapy.
It's
Sounds
amazing.
awesome.
It's amazing.
One day I'll have time for that.
I know, right?
Take notes and come in and do it with her, right?
Yeah.
I know. All right, Katie, this is what we got to do now. Is what she said. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's.
We've had this has been a great conversation. It's been awesome to learn about your story, and I love hearing people's stories and how you got to where
And they're all
you
so
got, because
different.
I met you when you were towards the end of your career.
Yeah.
And so it's cool
I
to
was
see
the end.
it. Literally, that was probably
I felt
one of
really
your
bad
last
about leaving you
tours.
there.
You know,
Katie felt
but
really
you
bad
know
about being
what?
left there.
Here's the situation. If I can teach myself to do everything that they did not teach me how to do, then I know my students are going to be fine. You know what I
Amen.
mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I
Should
leave
never
that.
be that way.
when you.
It shouldn't,
Should
but
never be that way. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
the strong will survive.
This is true.
So,
True.
but well, thank you guys all for listening. I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. We're gonna sign off now. So go forth, be bold, and if it fails, oh hair no.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Smash that subscribe button.
Okay, Molly, you guys.